This afternoon, we will be discussing naman numerical integration. Okay? So, same thing pa rin to sa numerical differentiation. We are basically integrating a definite integral. Definite integral meaning to say, we have some limits, no, or known yung limits. So, for example, from A to B, then we have here f of x, then dx. So, ito yung sinasabi nating definite integral. Okay? Define siya. Okay? Definite integral. Okay? So, numerical methods pa rin, meaning to say, we will be applying numerical methods for this one. Okay, so numerical integration. There are two situations in which it is impossible to find the exact value of a definite integral. The first situation arises from the fact that in order to integrate the integral of this one using the fundamental theorem of calculus, ito yung ina-apply natin nung sa integral calculus natin na course, no? We need to know the antiderivative of f. So, unang method is to know the antiderivative of f. That is the fundamental theorem of calculus. Tama ba? And sometimes, however, it is difficult or even impossible to find the antiderivative. Kapag yung function natin, no, is wala yung elementary antiderivative niya, so mahirap talaga yon. Pero if ever meron yung diretso na formula for antiderivative of that function, then therefore mas madali lang yan using fundamental theorem of calculus. So, examples of integrals that are impossible to evaluate exactly is this mga itong examples. So, we have here this one. Although makuha naman to sa calculator, basically because yung calculator natin is naka tawag nito. Yung working principle ng calculator is basically numerical din. Okay, pero kung atin tong isosolve or meaning to say kukunin natin yung antiderivative nito, mahirap talaga. And then evaluate natin from 0 to 1. Example din ito. Okay? So, in cases like this one, okay, gagamitan natin siya ng numerical integration. So, there are actually several methods, no, in using numerical integration or in numerical integration that is being used, no. So, later, you will be able to know. Okay, in both cases, we need to find approximate values of the definite integrals. Recall that the definite integral is defined as a limit of Riemann sums. Okay, so any Riemann sum could be used as an approximation to the integral. If we divide for example, yung basically yung integral, di ba, is yung direct application niya is yung area under the curve. For example, meron tayo dito. So, from this interval A to B, okay, kukunin natin yung integral niyan. Meaning to say, we need to define the area. Parang ganyan ba? So, we will be divide this interval A to B into n subintervals, which is equal sa delta x, yung length niya, no? Equal length. Meaning to say, ito yung x, so, meron tayo ditong ganito, ganyan, para maggawa tayo ng vertical strips, no? So, having uniform length, delta x, yung value ng delta x is actually yung base na, yung b natin, isang interval dito to the right, and then yung left interval natin, left limit natin sa a, and then divide it by how many subintervals you wish. Okay, so yan yung magiging uniform length or equal length ng yung strip na magagawa natin, no. So, with that, no, we have here, okay, iris ko lang to, we have here the integral ng f of x natin, and then evaluated from a to b, no. It's actually using the Riemann sums, o using the Riemann sum, ito yung Riemann sums. Okay, using the Riemann sums is actually equal siya sa, approximately equal siya sa, okay, kung kukunin natin yung product ng f of x, xi, tapos yung delta x, and then evaluated from 1 to how many subintervals. Okay, ano ba itong f of xi? Okay, so dito yan, no, makikita natin yan dito. Okay, yung x sub I is any point on the ith subinterval. Okay, so yan yung basically yung in between ng interval in between xi minus 1 and xi. So, if xi is chosen to be the left endpoint of the interval, then yung x sub I natin is actually x sub I minus 1. And we have this one. Okay. Ito yung tawag nito, left leftmost approximation ng ating integral. So, graphically, ito yung magiging graphical niya. So, left endpoint approximation. Left endpoint dito. Okay. So, ano ba tong delta x? Diba yung delta x, ito yun. Ito yung delta x. Okay, delta x yan. And then, yung f of x sub I, so, diba, kung kukunin natin yung dito, x sub 1, no, diba, yung length niya, okay, kung kukunin natin to dito, diba, basically, yung area nito, is this one, delta x, ito yun, times this length. Ano ba tong length na to? So, that is this length. Okay. When at iteration 1, so magiging x sub I minus 1 yan. Okay, sorry. I minus 1, so that is x sub 0, no? So, yung f of x sub 0, ito yun. Okay. So, basically, we have here the base length and the height length. Okay, or the base times height. So, that is the area of triangle. Okay? So, basically, ito yun. F of x sub I minus 1, yan yung height. And then, yung delta x is yung base dito. So, yan yung basically area ng rectangle. Then, kung atin yung using Raymond's sum, no? Galing sa iteration 1, papunta sa how many subinterval do you wish, no? So, yan yung magiging tawag nito, magiging value or ng approximate value ng ating interval or definite integral. Okay? So, yan yung for the left side, no? Left endpoint approximation. Meron din tayong tinatawag na right endpoint approximation. Sa right endpoint approximation, we will consider yung f of x natin is equal or greater than 0. Then, the integral representing by the area, okay? So, we'll be choosing x sub I to be the right endpoint. Then, therefore, yung x sub I natin is equivalent lang din sa x sub I. We have this one. So, ito yung right endpoint approximation. As you can see, delta x pa rin yan. Okay? So, delta x pa rin yan. Ito yun, no? And then, itong f of x sub I, say for example, magsa-start tayo sa 1. So, dito tayo, diba? So, ito yung f of x sub 1, no? And then, yung delta niya, okay, galing siya sa right. So, yun yung sabi. Kanina, galing tayo dito sa left, no? Papunta dito. So, sa right endpoint, galing tayo dito sa right, then papunta dyan. Ganyan yun. So, this is the f of x sub I, then delta x. Okay? Pero, same ito sa yung forward, backward difference, at saka, forward finite difference, at saka backward finite difference ng numerical differentiation. Okay, etong right and left endpoint approximation, kung i-compare natin yan sa isang approximation, which is the midpoint approximation, relatively, yung midpoint yung mas accurate. Okay? So, ito naman yung sa right endpoint, ha? Okay? Yung sa, if the approximation of the using the left endpoint at saka yung right endpoint defined by the equation in the previous slides, yung pinakita ko kanina, ito yun, itong dalawa. And then, these are called the left endpoint approximation and the right endpoint approximation respectively. And then, ito yun, di ba? Ito yung mga formulas na pinakita ko kanina. Then, we also have considered the case when x sub I is chosen to be the midpoint of your x sub I bar. So, ito yun, midpoint. So, basically, no, ang mangyayari niyan, ito yung formula for midpoint rule. So, ito yung sa f of x sub I minus 1. Tama ba? Ito naman yung sa f of x sub I. Then, kukunin natin yung midpoint. Ito na yun. So, basically, we have here yung delta x, supposedly ito yung delta x, di ba? We will be dividing it by 2. Okay, 1/2 of that delta x. Okay? And then etong x bar I, okay? X bar 1 or sub 1, x bar sub 2. Yan yung mga midpoint niyan. Ito yon, midpoint 1, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So, since yung supposedly ano kasi to, delta x over 2, no? Half nito. Tapos you have here f of x sub I, no? From I is equivalent to 1 papuntang sub interval n. So yan yung actual na formula for midpoint. Okay? Tapos, ang nangyari kasi, dalawa kasi tong f of x sub I. So, dito na part, tsaka dito. So, you will be multiplying it by 2. Okay? So, makancel yung 2. So, therefore, yung formula ng midpoint is delta x tapos yung summation ng f of x sub I. So, ito na yun. Okay? Ito na yun. Delta x tapos f of sub I plus x of f of x sub x bar. Okay, x bar sub 1, then f of x bar sub 2, and then so on so forth until n. Okay? Wherein yung delta x natin is again b minus a, yung intervals natin, difference, tapos yung number of subinterval. Okay? So basically, ganyan lang yung magiging formula for midpoint rule. Wherein yung x sub I natin, ito na part, okay, x bar sub 1 or x bar I, that is the midpoint or average nung x sub I tapos x sub I minus 1. Ito yun, midpoint niya. Okay? So, ito yung if evaluate mo yung function that with x bar sub I. Okay na yun. Ayan na yun. So, using midpoint rule. So, you just need to memorize this one, Yung basically yung approximate numerical integration approximation ng ating integral, definite integral is using the midpoint rule, okay? Okay, ito na yung magiging values niya. This is still again following the Riemann sum, okay? Now, aside from midpoint rule, we also have another rule, and we call that trapezoidal rule. Okay, another approximation called the trapezoidal rule results from averaging the approximation in equations below. So, eto, okay, recall, ano ba yung area ng trapezoid? Diba, if we have here a trapezoid like this one, so we have here base 1 and then base 2 and meron tayong altitude na height or h, altitude. So, area niyan is 1/2 of the sum of the bases, diba? Or the average of the bases, basically 1/2 or the average of the bases times height, no? So, gagamitin natin to na formula for the definite integral. Okay, basically, no? So, if ilagay natin yan, so, ang approximate value ng definite integral is equivalent sa 1/2, okay? Ano to? Okay, these are the bases. Okay, ito yung base 1, ito naman yung base 2. Tapos, ito yung base 1, tapos ito yung base 2, at saka yung height, same lang man yan, delta h. Ito yun. Or delta x. Okay. Pagpalagay natin, for example, okay, later ipakita ko yung diagram or graphical representation for that. Okay. So, since yung delta x is common, we can factor that out, no? Okay, magiging delta x over 2 na yan, no? And then, if we start with 1, okay, 1 tayo. So, ito, 1 minus 1, 0 na yan. Ito na yun. And then, start tayo sa, again, 2 na pod. So, that is 2 minus 1, that is f of x sub 1, no? Okay, then, the same here, kung start tayo sa 1, okay, x sub 1 din dito. Then, mag-start tayo sa 2, then x sub 2 na ito. And then, so on so forth until makapunta tayo sa x sub n, no? So, kapag ganyan, makikita nyo may pattern dyan na f of x sub o dito, then f of x sub 1, then f of x sub 1, dalawa na yan. So, ang mangyari nyan, magiging ganito na yung formula for trapezoidal rule. So, delta x over 2, then f of x sub o, then twice na lahat yan until sa f of x sub n minus 1. Yung last term will be hindi pwede yan i-divide by multiplied by 2. Okay? Basically, okay. Pwede din delta x tapos we have here 1/2 of f of x sub o, ito, plus dito magiging isa lang yan, okay? Plus dot plus ito f of x sub n minus 1 plus 1/2 of f of x sub n. Pwede din ganito. Basically, we have just distributed the 1/2. Okay? So, pwede din ganito or pwede din ganito na lang para mas madali, no? So, you just need to memorize the formula. So, ito yung graphical representation niya, no? So, ito yung magiging formula for trapezoidal rule, okay? So, as you can see, denoted siya by capital T sub n, yung midpoint capital M sub n, yung right end point approximation, that is capital Rn, then yung left naman capital L sub n. So yun yung magiging representations natin for different rules So ito na yun So for example, ito yung graphical representation for data. 'Di ba? Karoon tayo ng trapezoid here. Basically, we have this one. So basically, parang meron tayong trapezoid na supposedly ganito, pero ni-rotate na natin vertically. So parang ganito. So we have here the bases. Ito yung magiging bases niya, dalawang bases. Dapat parallel kasi yung dalawang bases na yan. Okay, sorry. Okay. Dalawang bases na to. Itong isang base at saka itong isang base. So again parang ganito yan, pero ni-rotate na natin papuntang 90 degree. Okay? Kasi yung bases dapat parallel din yan. So ito kasi at saka ito, hindi talaga yan matawag na bases kasi hindi yan parallel. They will intersect at some point. Dito na yan mag-intersect sila. So ito yung magiging bases natin. So meaning to say, this is your f of x sub 0. Ito yun. Paano ba ito mapakita? Ito yun. Okay? And then yung f of x sub I, ito yun. Okay. And then yung delta, yung h natin, altitude, will be our delta x. Kaya, meron tayong ganito na formula. Okay? And then Riemann sum yan. Then, mapupunta tayo dito sa formula na to. Okay? So, basically, yan yung trapezoidal rule. Okay. Later, makikita nyo, which among the four, yung pinakita ko kanina, yung right endpoint approximation, left endpoint approximation, midpoint approximation, at saka itong trapezoidal rule, you will later realize kung ano dapat or ano ba yung mas accurate. Okay. When you say most accurate, yung less yung error niya sa true value natin for the definite integral. So, to do that, to 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 prove to see which among those four methods or rules will beget a least amount or least error. Okay, we'll try this example. So I chose this example na ganito. Actually, we can numerically analytically solve this one, so okay, using our calculator para maano lang natin para makita din natin or ma-solve natin yung error. So using our calculator, makukuha natin ito. Okay, from 1 to 2. Okay, that is equivalent sa 0. Okay, ang sagot dito, true value nito is 0.6931. Okay, 3147 until 6 decimal places. 'Di ba yung antiderivative ng 1 over x or dx over x, that is equivalent sa ln of x, if you have remembered and evaluated from 1 to 2. So kung gagamitin natin to, bali ln of 2 minus ln of 1, yung ln of 1 is actually 0 yan. Okay, ln of 1 0 yan, okay, so basically ln of 2 should be equal sa ito 0.693147. So tama na yan, 0.693147. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na using the theorem ng calculus, fundamental theorem ng calculus, kailangan natin alam yung antiderivative ng ating given function here for the integral. So which is, we know that that is ln of x, pero in cases like complex yung magiging given dito, and then hindi na impossible mahanap yung antiderivative for this one, so gagamitan na natin yan ng numerical integration. So ito na yun. So we have just calculated na the true value just for comparison later, okay, let's start with the trapezoidal rule. 'Di ba, if you have remember, the trapezoidal rule, ano yung formula niya, class? Sige daw, that is t sub n. Okay, that is the approximation ng ating definite integral. Kindly dictate, everyone, if nandyan pa kayo. Ano yung formula dito?
Delta x over 2.
Okay, delta x over 2. Okay, and then we have here what? F of
X sub 0.
Sub 0 plus twice of f of x sub 1, Tama. plus twice of f of x sub 2 until maabot tayo dun sa f of x sub n. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this one. Okay. Now, we need to solve for the value of delta x. Delta x is already given. No, hindi given. Pero we know the formula b minus a over n. No, ilang subinterval gusto natin? 5. And then, ano yung a at saka b natin? Yung a natin is 1, yung lower limit. Yung b natin is 2, which is our limit, upper limit. So, that is 2 minus 1 all over 5. Kindly give me the value nito. Diba? This is 1 over 5. O that is 0.2. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 0.2. Okay, therefore, yung t sub n pala natin, okay, that is delta x 0.2 all over 2, okay, and then we have here f of, okay, x sub 0, what do we mean by this one? So, magsa-start tayo. Ang mangyayari niyan, gagawa kayo ng graph or even number line, okay na yan, number line lang. So, ranging from your lower limit, then papunta sa upper limit. So, this is basically your x sub 0, and then we have here x sub 1, which is 1.2, and then x sub 2, that is 1.4, 1.4. So add ka lang ng constant, or basically this is our step size kumbaga sa differential integration. Differential integration, numerical differentiation. So we have here x sub 3, which is 1.6, then x sub 4, which is 1.8, and then the last one, x sub 5, that is 2. Okay, so ilang terms dapat meron tayo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. So this is 1 plus 2 times f of 1.2, no? Plus 2 times f of 1.4, then plus 2 times f of 1.6, then plus 2 times f of 1.8, then last one we have f of 2. Okay? So punta lang tayo dito sa next na slide. So dapat sa OneNote lang ako nagsulat, no? Sige lang. Okay? So ano yung values nito, guys? So kung ilalagay natin yan din sa ating value, no, ln of 1 over dx, 1 over x, ito yung magiging function natin, di ba? Original function, ito yung f of x natin. So basically we have here for t sub n, so t sub n, ang n natin is 5, no? So that is the approximation. Yung delta x 0.2, 0.2 over 2, and then we have here f of 1, so that is 1 over 1. Okay, ito yun, no? Plus 2 times, ano yung value natin? 1 over 1.2. Okay? Plus 2 times 1 over 1.4. Plus 2 times 1 over 1.6. Plus 2 times 1 over 1.8. Plus, lastly, we have here 1 over 2. Tama ba? Okay, kindly get your calculator. Kindly give me the value of this one, guys. Sige, kuha lang din ako ng calculator para sabay-sabay tayo, no? So, 0.2 divide 2
0.69.
Okay, sige. 1 over 1, that is 1, plus 2 all over 1.2. Actually, pwede natin gamitin din yung Raymond's dito, no? So, pakita ko lang mamaya summation. Okay, times 2 all over 1.6, and then tsagaan na natin, 2 over 1.8, then plus, okay, 1 over 2. So you would get equivalent sa 0. Same ba tayo nakuha? 0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry.
Same, sir.
0, ayate. Okay, 0.695635. Okay, yan yung magiging sagot natin dito, no? So that is for trapezoidal rule. Hold on, kunin ko lang tong problem na to. Now, dito naman tayo sa, okay, this is for your letter A, no? So that is for letter A using trapezoidal rule. Dito naman tayo sa question number letter B, which is How about naman kapag midpoint rule? Okay, midpoint rule tayo. So, M sub n. Okay, that is ang M sub n natin or yung n natin is 5, di ba? So, ano yung ano yung formula natin for midpoint rule? Ito, di ba? Delta x tapos kukunin natin yung mga midpoints. Okay? So, ano yung midpoints natin? So, kanina, ito, dito, di ba nakuha natin tong mga x sub 0, x sub I, x sub 2, and so on and so forth. Yung mga midpoint, ito yon. Okay, midpoint 1, midpoint 2, midpoint 3, midpoint 4, midpoint 5. Limang midpoints lang yan. So, anong midpoint to? 1.1, di ba? This is 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, tsaka 1.9. So, ito yung mga midpoints natin. So, gagamitin natin yan, no? So, we have here delta x which is 0.2 lang. Okay, sulat muna natin yung formula para ma-recall natin. Delta x, tapos we have here f of x sub 1, yung pinakaunang midpoint, plus f of x sub 2, then plus dot dot dot, plus until f of x sub n, yung midpoint natin for the last one. So, 0.2 for the midpoint with 5 sub-interval. So, yung f of 1.1, ito yung mga midpoints natin, plus f of 1.3, plus f of 1.5, plus f of 1.7, and lastly, f of 1.9. Okay? So, therefore, 0.2, okay, pakikuha ng calculator para madali tayo. This is 1.1 plus 1 over 1.3 plus 1 over 1.5 plus 1 over 1.7 and lastly 1 over 1.9. Anong value nito, guys?
0.692, sir.
Okay, 0 yung ano ta, yung exact value nito.
0.
Until 6 decimal places kayo. 0.69
0.691908.
1908. Okay, that's
Yes,
correct, no? Ito yung value natin. Okay. Yung true value natin is 0.6931. So, 0.6931. Okay, 47. So, kukunin natin yung error nito. So, ang error so basically yung error for trapezoidal rule, okay, yung true value natin is ito. Pwede natin unahin tong value natin for T5. T5 minus yung true value. True value. Okay. So that is, anong error nito? 0.695635 minus 0.693147. Kindly give me the value of this one. Error for trapezoidal. Ano yung error niyan? Hello? Nandyan pa kayo? 0.695635 minus 0.693147. Ano sagot?
0.002488.
Okay. Okay. 0.00. So, 0.002488. So, how about namang error? Well, for this trapezoidal, how about for midpoint? So, that is midpoint 5, then true value. So, di ko na lang isulat, ha. So, dito na tayo diretso. 69, 1908. So, yung sagot dito is shift eng. Okay. 0.001. Okay. Negative. Okay. Actually, pwede lang yan absolute value, no? Anyway, saan yung pinakaunti yung 0? Yan yung pinaka-least yung value sa absolute value. So, dito, nakikita natin that the midpoint has a least or a smaller, no? Smaller error compared to the trapezoidal rule. Okay? Now, with that, no? The error in using an approximation is defined to be the amount that needs to be added to the approximation to make it exact. Okay, from the values in example 1, we see that the errors in the trapezoidal and midpoint rule approximation for n subinterval, no, na equivalent sa 5 are the following. Ito yun for trapezoidal, okay, E sub t, that would refer to the error of trapezoidal rule, then E sub m, that is the error for the midpoint rule. So, nakikita nyo, ano yung, di ba dito nabaliktad lang kasi binaliktad to dito. Bali, true value minus T5 dito, true value minus M5. So, basta kunin nyo lang yung absolute value. Okay, tingnan nyo lang yung numerical value. Saan yung mas marami? Yung 0. Since dalawa sila, same sila. Tapos, tingnan nyo yung next na non-zero value. So, obviously, ito, di ba? Yung mas maliit compared sa ito. So, basically, yung sa n equivalent sa 5 o yung subinterval natin is 5, so yung error sa midpoint is mas maliit compared sa error sa trapezoid. But okay, in general, we have here the formula. Ito yung formula, class. So you have here the true value ng ano nyo, true value ng function nyo na definite integral minus yung approximation nyo, and you would get the error. Kailangan absolute value to, class, ha. Di kayo malito, no? And then we have here for the same thing for error for the midpoint. Now, what will happen if we will be increasing the number of subinterval? So, kasi ang bottom line dito, if you will increase the number of subinterval, paliit ng paliit yung magiging ganito nyo ba? So, paliit ng paliit yung magiging ganito nyo. So, you will approach an infinite number of subintervals. So, habang pinapalaki nyo yung subintervals, and guess what? Lalaki din yung, or mas magiging closer, no? Magiging closer yung value ng magiging approximation nyo sa true value. For example, ito, pwede nyo lang tong ano, ha, for using the left endpoint approximation, kapag number of subinterval is 5, ito yung makukuha mo. Kapag number of subinterval is 10, ito naman yung kukuha mo. Pag number of subinterval 20, ito yung makukuha mo. And remember, ang ating true value sa example number 1, okay, sulat ko lang, ha, para makita natin, no? So, that is 0.693147. 693147. Okay, 0.6, ano ganyan? 6, nakalimutan ko na. 6931. Short term, ano ba? Short term memory loss. 47. 693147. Okay, kung i-compare natin yon. Okay, sa left endpoint approximation, tingnan nyo, 777. Sa right endpoint approximation, 6.4, 6.6. So, basically, katimbang lang itong dalawa. Pero with trapezoidal rule, 695, 693, 693. So, the more malaki yung subintervals, okay, damihan natin yung subintervals, the closer we will be, okay, at the true value ng definite integral. And let us compare it with the midpoint. So, habang tumataas yung subinterval, okay, sa midpoint rule, ano din, mas papalapit siya sa true value. So, between these two, okay, saan yung saan yung mas accurate, kumbaga, if we increase the number of intervals. So, obviously, if we have this error table, okay, so, yung sa midpoint, okay, so, napansin nyo, mas maraming zeros to when subintervals is 20. So, basically, yung midpoint approximation is the most accurate between these four methods. Yung sa trapezoidal, yung sa right endpoint approximation, at saka sa left endpoint approximation. Among these four, yung midpoint rule is relatively the most accurate among the four. Okay? So, yun yung gusto kong ipunto dito. So, that ends our discussion on numerical integration. Okay, by the way, do you have questions?